Guys, it's here. It's here. It's time. The new manager has been announced, and here, as you can see on the screen, Rio Ferdinand had something to say about it. He announced it and let us know that the new manager is in town. So let's hear what Rio had to say about.
Announced Amorim is now the Manchester United manager. Eric Ten Hag has been given the sack. Ruben Amorim comes in, holds the fort, holds the reins, and now Amorim comes in on his high horse to take over the reins and lead Manchester United. Let's go. Let's get into this. Let's get started, man. And I think that we're looking at a new manager coming in. I think before that, listen, Ruben Amorim, I think he's been a name that's been talked about for many a club recently. And Man United seemed to be in the hot seat for a manager that was fairly sought after by some of the top clubs. I think if Pep had gone, I think he would have been someone they would have gone for, Man City. I've heard that on good authority. But what I would say is that, listen, Ruud van Nistelrooy has come in. Eric Ten Hag's been given the sack. He's seen things behind the scenes. He tweaked a few things in the game against Leicester. And it was a team that you look.
We have to give thanks, to Ruud van Nistelrooy because it did a good job. Yeah, it was only one game, but they played well. And, you just have to say, he's holding on the fort. But now Ruben is in. What I heard in the news this morning, that Van Nistelrooy was saying that he's got a 2-year contract and he's hoping that he could still stay and help the team. But Ruben is trying to bring his own coaches with him. So we don't know if there's still be a place for Van Nistelrooy. We hope that there is, but just have to watch and see.
Looked like, whoa, they were vibrant, energetic. Players playing to a standard almost or near to a standard we're expecting them to play to. There was an energy about the place. What is that? Because there's a new person in charge and you get that little bounce? I don't know, but I don't think it reflects greatly on the players either. But it doesn't reflect any better on Eric Ten Hag as well. But I've been speaking to a few people here. Oh, do you think they'll give it to Ruud now? Or do you think Ruud will be disappointed? Ruud will be disappointed. He wants to be the manager of Man United, I'm sure. He's in the hot seat now and thinks, you know what, I'll do my best. Will I get it? I don't know, probably not. But I'll give him my best because it's Manchester United and I love the club. But what I would say is that Ruben Amorim, I think a lot of people, and I've seen, well, what's different from Eric Ten Hag? He won the league in his country as well. Yeah, there are similarities in that. He's coming from a weaker league.
In my opinion, I think that United they've got a lot of spoiled players. We've got a lot of spoiled players that, from the Jose Mourinho era, where Jose Mourinho tried to bring that strictness where the manager is the ruler, the leader of the dressing room. And, you had players that rebelled and came out in the media, and a lot of people were cursing Jose Mourinho at the same time. So, I think all the managers that went into Manchester United, they lost the dressing room, and it just kept on like that, where the players them are spoiled. They feel like they can do whatever they want to do because they're gonna get games and stuff like that. And I don't want to keep on saying this, where people are saying they need to go back to the stage of Alex Ferguson and some of the managers from back in the day that were really strict with the players, people getting deducted, paycheck, and they know that don't care how good they are, they're gonna be spending the time on the bench if they don't follow the rules of the game. And I just think a lot of the players need to get back to football, where football was the end all, the center of their whole being at the time of being a footballer. It's just too much social media, being distracted by everything else around them, and it's taken away from their game. And a lot of them don't seem like they got the pride, the ambition to say, what, let me take back my game and get back to a good standard. Because guess what happened? They're still getting the same paycheck, and they're still living lavish, and they're still enjoying life same way. And everywhere they go, people want autograph. But when time people start start ignoring them and start paying them and let them know, listen, you need to stop performing on the pitch. You know, they need to start putting stuff in their contracts where they say, you know what, if you're not performing, you're gonna lose money. And let them put more effort in their performance. And one thing I keep on saying for time and time, and a lot of people gonna say whatever they want to me, Bruno Fernandes he needs to sit down for a bit, because on the pitch, to me, he don't prove to be a leader on the pitch, because he complains and he mourns about every little thing that the referee calls on the pitch. He don't get up and go. He's not a fighter like that. I don't see the fighting spirit, and I hope that I see better from him. So let's carry on, because I know you guys don't want to hear all of what I have to say.
And there are similarities to what Erik ten Hag was doing at Ajax. But what I would say is that he took a club, I think it was like a barren spell of 20 odd years. Couldn't compete with Porto, couldn't compete with Benfica, hadn't got near winning the league, disenchanted fan base, a lot of turmoil behind the scenes. And he went in there, immediately turned the place upside down. Won the league. I think he's won it twice now in 4 years. Changed the style of football, changed the style of play, changed the expectations of the whole place. And I'm not saying if that's going to be easily mirrored in here at Manchester United, because it's a different beast.
From what I've heard, Ruben is highly recommended out of Europe. A lot of people, a lot of reporters, a lot of football people respect him and respect, what he's done at Sporting, and the respect his mind for the game. So I'm hoping that he can come and turn stuff around for my team, and I hope that these players, and I hope that, we all said the same thing when Ten Hag came in, but we just hope the best for Manchester United, and I just hope that he can do some good for the team.
I think everyone knows that, but Erik ten Hag didn't have to do that at Ajax. It wasn't a club in absolute term, or didn't have a playing style or an identity or whatever. Ajax has always had the identity, the playing style. But yes, he did turn it around, won some stuff there, and was very successful at Ten Hag, just like Amorim's being. But I think the biggest difference between the two men, and I say this with as much respect as I can, from what I'm hearing, I'm talking to people that have played for, but also been around as a human. I think the character and the charisma compared to Erik ten Hag will be the big differentiator, will be the big difference. You need someone to come into Man United with the character, the charisma, with the balls to be able to go in there and go, do you know what? I don't care what's gone on here. I see a player in you, and I see a player in you, and I see a playing style that we're going to play that's going to suit all of you guys, or some of you, and some of you ain't going to be involved.
That's exactly what they want. I think these players, that's what they want. They want somebody who's gonna, be telling them straight. You get what I mean? And, help to build the confidence, because it looks like a lot of them players haven't got no confidence at all. And, we just want to see them good players that we see. And all of these injury guys, I don't know what's happening. Malacia hasn't featured in nearly 2 years. You get what I mean? So I don't know what's going on with him.
And I'm going to tell you, you're going to be there. You need someone who's going to be like that. You're going to think, you know what? Oh, I can see something. And don't forget, this is a man that built Ugarte, who's come here, who built a player to be sold for 60 million, by the way. Then he turns up at Manchester United. And I've seen people questioning him already. But the way that this manager is going to play, he plays a three at the back, in possession, 6 high up the pitch as well. Very, 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 very offensive-minded, possession-based, but fluid as well. I've seen him a number of times in Europe, being impressed, but also sometimes against the bigger teams, not so. But that happens. But I'll just say, I think he changed the landscape for a football club. That's not easy to do. Don't care what league you're in. It's not easy to do. And I think that there's going to be players in there sitting there because, you know what, this is someone who could change my fortunes at the football club. And I spoke to Nani actually the other day. He said, Rio, whatever you want to talk about tactics or whatever, the players love him. The players play for him. They love him. And they respect him. And I think one of the issues I think with Erik ten Hag, and what he said about Amorim, he said that Nani said he's very straight and very direct. And one of the problems that Erik ten Hag faced, and which I think didn't help him and probably affected him in the long run, maybe there were inconsistencies with the way there was discipline set out at the football club for some and against the others. Ronaldo treated a certain way, or Rashford, Sancho treated a certain way. Maybe Rashford or other players behind the scenes might have been treated another way. But I think you have to have clear lines when you approach.
Yeah, talking about that, what Ria just said, it's not, I don't really, what I say, everybody need to look at themselves as an individual. I don't care about how people get treated. When you go out on that pitch, you're playing for the club, the team, the people them around you. If you got any passion, any pride in yourself about football, you go and you play for the team. I don't care how that guy, we deal with that off the pitch. But when you go on the pitch, you go out there and you play for the team and you play for the club, for the fans, everybody who's out there supporting you guys. There's people that sacrifice a lot to come and support you guys. You get what I mean? And so go out there and play for them. Don't care about how guys are getting treated when you go on the pitch. You deal with that off the pitch. That's how I see it.
Approach these topics and these subjects and these players. Bang, this is it. One rule for all. But I see him getting the best out of someone like a Højlund. He took a guy, Carezzi took him from Coventry over there. He scored a hatful of goals, by the way. Made a player out of him. I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to say, there's one player I need to get out of there. It's going to be him. He's got him a hatful of goals. He's integral to the way that they play. What do you want to break the bank for him? What happens to Højlund if they break the bank for someone like him? 64 appearances, 57 goals for Sporting, played in England before, albeit in the Championship. Would they break the bank for him? And what would that mean for Højlund? It's going to be a big issue, big decisions to be made, I think, over the coming months. And I look at Ruud as well, and I think, is he going to be the one? Is he going to want to stay for one? And will the new man coming in want him to stay? I think yes on both. Ruud knows the fabric of the place. He knows what's needed. He knows what's needed to be healthy and successful at Manchester United because he's been there, seen it, and played it. I think he'll be integral. I think he'll be a huge help, and I think he's a type of human that would help rather than hinder the new incoming guy. But I think he'll bring some of his own staff. But Ruud, I think, will be someone that they come in. These teams he's played, their style in and out of possession changes like most managers. 3-4-3 at times, but can be sometimes when they're really offensive, 3 with a 1 pivot and then 6 kind of staggered across the front. Really aggressive in possession. But then that might leave some other players in the middle of the park. If you're not mobile enough, it could leave them vulnerable. The likes of Eriksen, even Casemiro at times, if there's big spaces and there are big spaces around the place. In a league where you're going to have a lot of possession, an approach can be very beneficial. But the big question, will it translate to a team he's coaching in a league like the Premier League, where he's going to have to get the team being dominant in possession over a small period of time of coaching sessions? Can he do that immediately? We'll have to wait and see. And that's what I mean. We need a coach who can implement his tactics and his identity on this team quickly, immediately. We've seen managers do this, but they've done it deservedly. Even Potter, when he was at Brighton. Postecoglou, like it or not, the way he plays his team, they're playing a certain way that suits him. Maresca's come in and done that now. Pep done that immediately. Klopp done that immediately. Slott's now putting his twist on it. We need a manager who can come in and go, this is my team. That's one of the things that I think everybody's been asking.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he needs to do. He needs to go in, listen, sit all the players down. This is my team. Everything goes through me. So anybody else who are put in charge, you have to answer to me. Captain, co-captain, vice captain, whoever, let them know that he's the boss and he runs the show, and let them, just go in and stamp his authority. Who don't like it, go. Just go. Put in your request and go. There need to be some control. The United shouldn't be a team that's going through so much managers so quick, and nobody seems to be coming in and making the team any better. And the squads up, everybody's coming in and they're spending a lot of money buying squads of players, and it's like the same players them come and they fall into the same routine, and the same thing happen all over again. It all needs to change.
For and worrying about and concerned about and not happy about in Eric Ten Hag's tenure here is, who are we? What are we? What formation do we consistently play? What type of football do we play? And we weren't getting the answers over a consistent period of time. That needs to change here. And I think Ineos, who have acted quickly and have been decisive, that's an improvement, because we're not fishing around. We're not fishing around for a manager or waiting around, getting it done. Simple as. But I think I look at the players who will thrive under this new manager. Ugarte has played with him before. Ugarte's played under him, had him as a manager, and become an improved top player. Goes for £60 million. Played 85 games for him before PSG signed him up. So it's going to be interesting. I think Martinez can play in a free at the back. He's been used to that. I think it's going to be interesting to see how that back line. I think Lenny Yoro, when he's fit, will be the number one player that goes in there, and it'll be about who plays with him. But I think the lack of a mobility for players in this team, a manager who wants to come in and play, Amorim wants to play fast, flowing football, and you need mobile players within that. So if the players that are lacking mobility, like a Harry Maguire, De Ligt, you get all of these forward players, Rashfords, Garnachos, Antony's, Ahmad's, a lot of them, they're going to have to be on it, drilling, getting up against opponents, and high intensity, aggressive front foot football. Win the ball back in the opponent's third, get chances, and be clinical. But I want to get your questions now. I think we've got loads of fan questions that have come in. We asked that on social media on Rio Presents, and we asked it on mine as well. Abby, Mickey, are you happy with the appointment, or would you prefer Ruud till the end of the season? I think if this man comes in, I'll be happy. But I wouldn't be averse to having Ruud there, because I think Ruud's got the energy. You can see he's got that steeliness. I saw him at the training ground a while ago. To want to go in there and
yeah, well, guys, this is where I have to leave you guys right now. You know, I'm not gonna. There's not much left of Rio's podcast, but I have to leave it right here. Thank you guys for tuning into the channel. We're gonna be keeping an eye on this new Manchester United new manager. Watch and see what he goes. See when he takes over. See what the team is going to do, and just see what's going on. We're just gonna be keeping an eye on them. So, if you wanna, continue to watch my channel to keep up with them, it'd be nice if you just hit the subscription button, tap the notification bell, so you guys can be notified as soon as I put up any new video, and we're just going to be talking about it all the time. Thank you guys again for watching.